if you're interested.
So if you want to do that, do you want to pull it so I can read it and then come back to it? It is up to you.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to give time before I read it and then you vote. You're going to vote before I even read it. Or anybody.
Mr. Acosta, we do have copies up here for your review if you're interested. Again, these are minor typographical errors, but if you're interested, they are
Regardless,
here.
there's no transparency because you're doing corrections without letting public read it.
Robert?
City Council. Wow. Wow. All right. So, we could talk about little errors. We could talk about big errors. We could talk about mistakes. We could talk, everything goes both ways once you've figured it out. So I think what a lot of people are looking for in the transparency, I was kind of corrected this week at the Sweetwater Authority when they were talking about our rate changes. And so they suggested I use accuracy. And so would you argue, Mr. City Attorney, that the paper that was released before was inaccurate, and then now you're releasing the accurate version? So there are reasons to be accurate and transparent and all these good words, right? When we do these meetings, we're asking the public to engage, right? At the end of the meeting, when no one's here, I can sit on the end of the comments and get comments per each item, but consent calendar, we only get our 3 minutes, right? And it was kind of funny, we're talking about procedures, right? And then presentations that were brought up to people about Brown Act violations and things like that during the board's meetings. And even in the city clerk's own presentation, it said we get 5 minutes as public comment, It's like a self-reflection of how it should be versus how you guys enforce it. But yeah, so we'll go to open spaces. Does open spaces mean we sell a space for it to become a closed space? I don't know. All these questions come up. Yeah, the procedural problems that we point out should be addressed, and if it's inaccurate, it should be released. Is it part of the paperwork that I looked through? Because if it's not a part of that paperwork, why isn't it part of the paperwork? Why are you holding it at the dais instead of just putting it part of the paperwork? You guys address him as if he was speaking on something. You even affirmed that it's at the dais, and then is it not in the paperwork? These are all procedural things. And then you're only taking one position to it? You're not going to fix the situation? It's just disappointing, really.
We have no additional speakers.
Thank you. If you can please read the headings.
Yes, item 5.1 is approval of the minutes dated April 21st and April 28th, 2026. Item 5.2 is approval of a motion to read only the title and waive the reading of the text of all resolutions and ordinances at this meeting. Item 5.3 is approval of an excused absence for Deputy Mayor Fernandez from the April 28th, 2026 City Council meeting. Item 5.4 is ordinance of the City of Chula Vista comprehensively amending Chula Vista Municipal Code Title I, General Provisions, Title III, Revenue and Finance, Title V, Business License, Taxes and Regulations, Title X, Vehicles and Traffic, Title 12, Streets and Environmental Quality, Title 12, Streets and Sidewalks, Title 15, Building and Construction, Title 17, Environmental Quality, Title 18, Subdivisions, Title 19, Planning and Zoning, and Title 21, Historic Preservation, second reading and adoption. Item 5.5A is resolution of the City Council of the City of Chula Vista, Chula Vista adopting an annexation map showing territory proposed to be annexed to Improvement Area C of Community Facilities District Number 97-2, Preserve Maintenance District of the City of Chula Vista, County of San Diego. Item 5.5B is resolution of the City Council of the City of Chula Vista adopting a proposed boundary map designating Improvement Area D of Community Facilities District 97-2, Preserve Maintenance District of the City of Chula Vista, County of San Diego, State of California, and showing territory proposed to be annexed to such improvement area. Item 5.5C is resolution of the City Council of the City of Chula Vista, California, declaring its intention to authorize the annexation of territory to Community Facilities District Number 97-2, Preserve Maintenance District of the City of Chula Vista, County of San Diego, State of California, and Improvement Area C therein, and taking the other actions related thereto. Item 5.5D is resolution of the City Council of the City of Chula Vista, California, declaring its intention to designate Improvement Area D of Community Facilities District Number 97-2, Preserve Maintenance District of the City of Chula Vista, County of San Diego, State of California, annexed territory as annexation number 1 thereto, and taking other actions related thereto. Item 5.6 is resolution of the City Council of the City of Chula Vista adopting a list of projects for fiscal year 2026-27 funded by SB 1, the Road Repair and Accountability Act of 2017. Item 5.7 is receipt of investment report for the quarter ending on March 31st. Item 5.8. A is resolution of the city fiscal year 2026-27 assessments for and setting a public hearing regarding the fiscal year 2020 and setting a public hearing regarding the fiscal year 2026-27 assessments. For resolution of the City Council of the City of Chula Vista approving property management agreement between the City of Chula Vista and Ryan.
Designed to protect themselves rather than serve the public. Today, an individual council member is prohibited from even placing.
Followed by Francisco Castillo.
Just to survive financially in California. To survive financially in California. As an educator, I have seen firsthand what financial.
Went to my policies.
I have seen firsthand what financial.
Went to my policies. I gave you dates. I gave you dates. I give you times. I give you places. And none of you have endorsed. He didn't like them. You have endorsed. He didn't like them. He blocked him. He didn't like him. He blocked him. I believe that he blocked him from getting a job at the
parks. That's a need that's been brought up already.
He blocked him from getting a job at the
parks. That's a need that's been brought up already. That we as a church or as in a community can serve. No, council. No, I just want to help and serve in a community. Can serve. No, council. No, I just want to help and serve our elders and the disabled community. One thing, that's what we want to do. Again, we're a small local.
Districts means whoever draws the lines controls who.
Our small local
districts means whoever draws the lines controls who get representation and who does portion representation for the other half, and to representation and who does portion representation for the other half, and to have it out of previous system. I'm trying to generate a discussion about proportional representation in order to improve our democracy.
I talked to Robert Batchy
in order to improve our democracy.
I talked to Robert Batchy and I said all I want to do is see. I talked to Robert Batchy and I said all I want to do is see some proof. The sixth and I said all I want to do is see some proof. The Sixth Amendment of the Sixth Amendment of. So when I asked him about it, I said my amendment of. So when I asked him about it, I said my. So when I asked him about it, I said my stimulus checks. I bought a motorhome. And
they do a great job of letting.
Stimulus checks. I bought a motorhome. And
they do a great job of letting people know. Relation paperwork wasn't obviously available. Paperwork wasn't obviously available. We remind everybody about the election coming up and that everybody should be. Your last one at the fire department, maybe last year.
Put in a speaker slip prior.
And they're typically paired with this one because we're not the bond issuer, and then they're paired with this one because we're not the bond issuer, and then they're repaid this one because we're not the bond issuer, and then they're repaid to the lender from rental revenue. Authority does not have that revenue. Authority does not have that capacity. The state has published these what they call opportunity maps of outdoor courtyards and a tot lot for kids. It's a mix of agencies, TCAC and SIDLAC, and then it'll be completed in 2028.
We were just going to
28.
we were just going over terminology, right? Just so we're all familiar with the same thing. I was watching this Discovery Channel thing, and they had this bridge. Right? And it was in law that it was starting to understand that it was understand that the words matter, and we should
would be challenging or shocking if we were creating structures that are tax exempt, that benefit these kinds of structures to induce government. Thank you.
Did you still have a question for staff?
Yes, I did. I'd be interested in them just
For staff?
Yes, I did. I'd be interested in them just explain. Thank you very much. I'd be interested in them just explain. Thank you very much for the explanation. Thank you very much for the explanation.
Is representing all facets.
For the explanation.
Is representing all facets. Because it's needed. Because this isn't about the well-to-do versus
Of the California Municipal
the well-to-do versus
of the California Municipal Financing Authority, exempt facility bonds for a qualified residential rental project, in an aggregate principal amount.
I would have figured they both would have gave their, they should have seen it, right? Like I said, I think there would be one. Like I said, I think there would be one, and I would just, beg of you, beg of you, in your commission, that the end comments, tell us what you're doing. Your commission, that the end comments, tell us what you're doing.
We sent out a mailer to our Sweetwater customers, and then for our Otay Water District to our Sweetwater customers, and then for our Otay Water District customers.
Good afternoon, everyone. Luis Shar, Director of Engineering Capital Projects Department. So yes, the letter. Good afternoon, everyone. Luis Shar, Director of Engineering Capital Projects Department. So yes, the letter that was recently sent out to all the residents that receive a sewer that's delivered by Chula Vista. That was recently sent out to all the residents that receive a sewer that's delivered by Chula Vista. Sent out to all the residents that receive a sewer that's delivered by Chula Vista. And so our fee rate structure is based out of structure was presented. structure was presented, the particular letter.
Thank you, and I think that clarifies.
The particular letter.
Thank you, and I think that clarifies how. Thank you, and I think that clarifies how the under the Constitution of the State of California, how the under the Constitution of the State of California, and it ensures under 218 that we only collect enough, in
a public hearing pursuant to Prop 218. We went through the process, everything was Prop 218. We went through the process, everything was noticed and approved and adopted consistent with that process.
Address encampment abatement. No, there are funds primarily support staffing, and those votes take place in different ways and in different instances. It didn't happen in the last 3 months. It's been happening over planning that happens over.
Appreciate your understanding on that.
Some public speakers on this item.
Okay. I thought-
And it's a
okay.
public hearing item.
Yes. Let me officially read the heading.
Yes. 2F is resolution of the Housing Authority. 2F is resolution of the Housing Authority of the City of Chula Vista station schedule effective July 10th, 2026 as station schedule effective July 10th, 2026 as required by California station schedule effective July 10th, 2026 as required by California Code of Regulations, Title II, Section Code of Regulations, Title II, Section.
All right, please vote.
Point 2C is resolution of the City Council of the.
All right, please vote.
Point 2C is resolution of the City Council of the City of Chula Vista, adopting the City of Chula Vista, adopting the operating budget for Open Space District Number 20, Zone 7, ending June 30th, 2027. Zone 7, ending June 30th, 2027.
Please vote. Please vote.
But they're still good.
To provide the presentation, just one moment, please. To provide the presentation, just one moment, please.
Thank you very much.
Please.
Thank you very much.
The amount that we put into this the amount that we put into this that we put into this NOFA to have a larger pot of funding available for our to have a larger pot of funding available for our presented our recommendations to the housing and homeless advisory. 67 affordable. 67 affordable. So our recommendation tonight, the funding, the state funding that the Eden Project was applying for, Ranch Grocery Store, it's a short bus route from and they've completed Casa Anita, at 7 profile development as much as possible within the neighborhood. Profile development as much as possible within the neighborhood. I will say one thing about the school that use project. So one thing about the school that use project. So if the council authorizes this commitment tonight, if the council would like to ask any questions.
As us on Mariposa Circle. They allowed their previous tenant to circle. They allowed their previous tenant to build stormwater protection inspectors were on scene to look for the cause of possible drainage. And while the need for affordable housing is obvious,
to Park Hill Methodist Church for approximately 16 years. Park Hill Methodist Church for approximately 16 years. And first 5 or 6 years, why would you trust the church with such a big?
My concern is that the current site,
the church with such a big.
My concern is that the current site issue for my family. In addition, to their credit, Wakeland Housing has promptly responded to all of our questions, but we would like to see how they plan to address.
So habitually, you guys, the purpose is, I encourage any public funding, just like the transit state. I encourage any public funding, just like the transit state.
Nestor in San Diego, Nestor UMC. I was the pastor there for 8 years. I was the pastor. This project will bring not only improve the.
Luis Garcia at Park Hill UMC. With me is Mrs. I please to inform that the. With me is Mrs. I please to inform that the people who. I please to inform that the people who opens the door.
United Methodist Church for services. United Methodist Church for services. I think they're United Methodist Church for services. I think they're a planned single-family neighborhood, and the reason why people bought and people live there.
East Naples. It is not a.
And people live there.
East Naples. It is not a fate. It's not a fate. It's not as Robert. Where's Robert? As Robert mentioned. Where's Robert? As Robert mentioned, a third. There is a 75 or 76 unit creative minds could probably think about how to do this. Maybe we do this. Maybe we can flop where the.
I do believe that the line of sight or the height lines. I do believe that the line of sight or the height lines. We need a.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. So thank you, Mr. City Attorney. So The one thing that
A notice,
the one thing that
a notice and a notice for a meeting, a notice and a notice for a meeting. And I mean, I think that's a reflection of why you see so many people. Have our outside counsel, that's correct. It would not come back, but our outside counsel can give you a little more about SB. But our outside counsel can give you a little more about SB.
To, as part of as part of that, so you enter into a loan agreement that, so you enter into a loan agreement, today that
Tonight, if there is consent,
today that
tonight, if there is consensus of a majority of the council,
just want to speak. My intent is to ask for consensus and a motion to give the
current action as currently drafted authorizes the city manager to current action as currently drafted authorizes the city manager to negotiate two meetings currently scheduled for the month of June, and of course the council can always schedule a
that's been outlined seems very workable to me in terms of conditioning that future disbursement of proceeds on them.
From District 1.
When we're talking about
Again, this project under SB4 could be moved forward by right.
I'm looking forward
by right.
I'm looking forward to bringing this back as soon as possible.
The field and the church to agree to.
You need additional time for consideration. Alternatively, it seems conditions for negotiating and executing a loan agreement, the city council's concerns regard.
Normally, if you have a project, you would developer would submit the project. It would go through our developer would submit the project. It would go through our planning department. Or voter would submit the project. It would go through our planning department. Or voting no. No. We'll now move on to public comments. And
Specifically the coyotes, the rabbits, and the snakes. I'm scared that they're going to, specifically the coyotes, the rabbits, and the snakes. I'm scared that they're going to lose their habitats. And I recently went to the Civita Park where they have a public community garden, and the park is very beautiful.
I don't see.
And the park is very beautiful.
I don't see Sylvia Irigoyen, the next speaker.
Talking about, we've been talking about, we've been in that property for over 20 years. We've been in that property for over 20 years. Built a storage facility. There's an amazing wildlife in that canyon.
Rolling Hills Ranch District of Chula Vista.
So we're almost to that item. If you can maybe hang out for a little bit longer, if that's okay. If you can maybe hang out for a little bit longer, if that's okay.
thank you very much. I'm going to go to the mayor's report. First, I want to thank everybody. Above and beyond serving our community. I was very honored our community. I was very honored. We hosted a senior fraud awareness session. Monitor your children's social media, commitment for labor and delivery, to honor those who have served our country. Many of those veterans are just in go at nighttime. They had a big was there as the mayor trying to get some of those great companies.
First, I want to thank our First Chula Vista Police Foundation, in honoring our sworn staff for another 3 years, ensuring young people never have to worry years,
ensuring young people never have to worry about whether they can afford and time away from work while helping ensuring continuity of care from
In that way, I can assure you I have a family too. I have an extended family. I have a family too. I have an extended family. I find it despicable that politics experience. I pay a lot of taxes. But I wonder, why do I remain? Sometimes
Time's not good enough. Just being a group around this. But you can't exchange, but there is no room for the type of garbage and political plays. That this council deals with a lot. So I apologize.
2 deaths.
A lot. So I apologize.
2 deaths out at the Otay. 2 deaths out at the Otay River Valley, and one of them was CBPD's intention and recall. One of them was CBPD's intention and recall protections tied to redevelopment, temporary closures, and successor employer transition.
EDC or business interests in finding and getting input.
Good enough?
Okay.
I appreciate. Good enough?
Okay.
I appreciate that. Can I have consensus on that?
We do have closed session tonight. There are 3 items on the closed session. And tonight, there are 3 items on the closed session agenda. These are
District of Chula Vista. District of Chula Vista. And I just wanted to speak to you today. About the lawsuit recently filed by former crimination is wrong no matter who the target is. Is wrong no matter who the target is, and times no matter who the target is, and times public safety officer morale and the city's ability to recruit and retain.